Have you ever noticed that the most talented people are not always the ones who get promoted? Have you ever wondered why some careers rise at incredible speed while others remain stagnant, even with effort? The answer is not talent, and it is not hard work. In fact, these virtues often have very little value inside true circles of power. Think about that. The mistake most people make is treating power as if it were a group of friends. They seek admiration, but what they find is indifference. Powerful people do not see the world the way you do. They see it as a chessboard, where the currency is not emotional loyalty, but leverage. What you call friendship, they call utility. Machiavelli decoded this centuries ago. He observed that the favor of a ruler is not earned through virtue, but through usefulness. In this video, you will learn the 13 unwritten laws of social ascension, a manual of perception, posture, and cold strategy that separates those who beg from those who become essential. You will understand why asking for an opportunity is the fastest way to be ignored, and how to silently position yourself as the only possible solution. When you stop chasing power and learn how to become the missing piece in their system, your rise stops being optional. By the end of this video, you will have the knowledge to transform ambition into invisible authority, ensuring not only entry into circles of influence, but permanence, untouchable, and indispensable. Law 1. The first great mistake, the fatal flaw that cancels all your other qualities, is how you present yourself to power. Most people approach influential figures like beggars, not physically, but in posture, tone, and language. They seek to be noticed, they seek approval, they seek a chance. And at that exact moment, they have already lost. Powerful people are surrounded by takers, advisors, flatterers, parasites disguised as allies. They develop an instant radar to distinguish those who drain from those who add. The system of power does not need another admirer. It needs a solution. The first law of social ascension: never approach someone powerful as a beggar. Approach as an answer. The moment you expose your need, your perceived value drops. But when you arrive offering a solution to a hidden problem, strategic information, or a subtle improvement that strengthens their system, the dynamic shifts immediately. You are not competing for power. You are completing existing power. Machiavelli already understood this. To be admirable and irrelevant is to be invisible. To be useful is to become part of the machine. Before any email, before any meeting, ask yourself, am I an energy drain or a stabilizing force? That answer determines whether the door closes or opens.
Won't you master the art of being an answer instead of a request? The next phase requires discipline. This is the second law. Observe before you move. The greatest mistake of a social climber is acting too quickly, speaking too much, revealing intentions too early. The urge to impress is almost irresistible. We want to show our intelligence, our credentials, our ambition. But by doing this, you become predictable. And predictable people are easy to manage. People of power live behind carefully constructed masks, yet their true desires always leak through subtle cracks. Your first objective is not to impress, it is to diagnose. Study the terrain like a general before battle. Who do they truly listen to? Who do they interrupt? What happens to their tone under stress? What do they secretly crave? Recognition, absolute loyalty, control, relief from boredom. Speaking too soon blinds you to these signals. Silence sharpens perception. When you understand what power truly wants, not what it says, but what it reveals, you gain leverage they cannot resist. Law 3. Mirror their world, not yours. The third law is simple. Mirror their world, not yours. Power trusts familiarity, not outsiders. Its inner circles are cultural bubbles. To enter them, you must harmonize with the environment. If power values efficiency, speak efficiency. If they value exclusivity, speak access. Machiavelli understood the necessity of simulation, not deception, adaptation. When you match their rhythm, you stop feeling foreign. Law 4. Maintain mystery around your value. The moment you reveal everything you can offer, you become replaceable. Partial revelation creates demand. Power must feel there is more beneath the surface. As Machiavelli wrote, everyone sees what you appear to be. Few perceive what you truly are. Mystery protects your relevance. Law 5. Appear calm in ambition, ruthless in execution. Power despises visible hunger. Open ambition signals instability. Your posture must be calm, patient, unrushed. But when opportunity appears, move with speed and precision. Gentle on the surface, relentless in execution. Law 6. Make power compete for your loyalty. If your loyalty feels guaranteed, it loses value. Power protects what is difficult to possess. Maintain independence. Even the perception of options raises your price. Law 7. Turn flattery into strategy. Generic praise is noise. Precision is power. Do not praise outcomes. Praise judgment, timing, control. You are not flattering, you are reinforcing identity. Law 8. Never outshine the one above you. This law protects your survival. Never outshine the one above you. Power has a fragile ego. Superiority triggers threat. Your brilliance must appear as an extension of their success. Law 9. Build alliances sideways. Power rarely stands alone. Advisors, assistants, gatekeepers. These are the invisible princes. Win them quietly. They speak for you when you are not present. Law 10. Weaponize gratitude. Servants say thank you. Strategists return value. Gratitude without action creates dependence. Gratitude with value creates partnership. Law 11. Master subtle rebellion. Total submission invites contempt. Resist occasionally, with elegance. Disagree to protect the mission, not to challenge authority. Law 12. Control visibility. Constant exposure destroys mystique. Disappear after success. Let others speak your name. Rarity creates prestige. Law 13. Move as if you already belong. This is the final law. Move as if you already belong. Insecurity is louder than arrogance. Enter rooms as if acceptance is inevitable. Fortune favors those who already look favored. The goal is not to climb the hierarchy. The goal is to become the hierarchy.
If you have reached this point, you are no longer looking for shortcuts. You are looking for mastery. The 13 laws you have learned are not tactics.
They are not tricks. They are a psychological map of hierarchy. They explain why some individuals move freely through systems of power, while others remain trapped at the gates, waiting for permission that never comes. True ascension does not happen on stages. It does not happen in applause. It happens in whispers, in closed rooms, in silences, in the invisible architecture of influence. This is why most people fail. They confuse visibility with power. Visibility creates attention. Power creates gravity. Attention fades. Gravity remains. And now, we arrive at the question Machiavelli himself would leave unanswered. What is the cost of becoming essential? Because every ascent demands a trade. Nothing rises without shedding weight. You have learned to use distance as armor, silence as leverage, utility as currency. But these same tools carry risk. The danger is not external, it is internal. When you mirror power long enough, you risk forgetting where the mask ends and where you begin. This is the paradox of mastery. To navigate power, you must understand it. To understand it, you must simulate it. To simulate it too well is to be consumed by it. Machiavelli never promised virtue. He promised survival. Power does not ask who you are. It asks what function you serve. And the higher you rise, the more your identity becomes abstract. You stop being a person. You become a role. This is why many who reach proximity to power feel emptier than before. They gained access, but lost authorship. They learned how to be useful, but forgot how to be sovereign. This is where most teachings stop. This one does not, because ascension without internal control is merely advanced servitude. The final lesson is not about climbing. It is about orientation. You must decide whether you are ascending to rule or to orbit. Orbiting power feels safe. Ruling power feels lonely. Most choose safety. Few choose sovereignty. And sovereignty begins with one discipline: internal independence. You must never fully outsource your center, not to mentors, not to institutions, not to powerful figures. Power respects those who can walk away. Dependency is readable, and it is exploitable. The moment your survival depends on proximity, you have already lost leverage. This is why the highest operators cultivate optionality, not chaos, options. They are never trapped in one room. They always have another door. This does not mean arrogance. It means internal alignment. When you no longer need approval, approval begins to follow you. Power senses psychological freedom instantly. It is rare, and rarity is power. At this stage, you no longer chase rooms. Rooms adjust around you. You stop knocking. Doors open preemptively. This is not mysticism. It is pattern recognition. Humans align with certainty. They follow those who appear anchored, not loud, anchored. The final evolution of influence is quiet. No persuasion, no explanation, just presence. At that point, you no longer need to apply the laws consciously. They have integrated into posture. Your voice slows.
Your reactions soften, your timing sharpens, and people begin to defer without knowing why. Because the ultimate form of power is not dominance, it is inevitability. And remember this, the objective was never to climb the hierarchy. The objective was to become the hierarchy.